Hey everybody, welcome to this week's live. I am Neka Williams, the virtual assistant and virtual assistant coach. If you're new here and when you're hopping on, go ahead and say hi. Let me know where you're at in your business. If you're just starting, if you're have your first client but you're trying to scale. So let me know where you're at in your business. Let me know where you're located. Like always, I'm gonna go ahead and get this shared inside of my group. And make sure you like this video and make sure you also click the bell so you're notified every time I go live. Hey Aisha! So let me go ahead and get this shared into my group. Let me know you're here. Say hey. Let me know where you're at in your business. And make sure you like the video and you click the bell to be notified every time I go live. So let's get this over in the group. If you're not in the virtual assistant club, make sure you're in there inside of the private Facebook group. Okay, so I have that inside of the group. I'm gonna give it a little time for people to hop on. Let me know when you're hopping in. Say hey. Let me know where you're at in your business. Are you just starting? Are you trying to scale? You already have your first client. You're trying to sign more. I think Chrissy's on here. Hey Chrissy. Yep, make sure you like the video and make sure you hit the bell on the video so you're notified every time I go live. Today we're going to talk a lot about fears. Aisha, same place, shake my head. Yeah, so today we're talking a lot about fears, and I think a lot of time when people come to me, that's the biggest thing that they are struggling with. Is not even like the strategic side of it. It's not even like the creative side or the skills or the tasks that they will be completing for their clients. It's really just getting over that fear. And what I've noticed is a lot of my one-on-one clients and my group coaching clients and just people that message me and email me, there are like 3 top fears that everyone struggle with. I know I struggle with it in the beginning too, and I still struggle with a lot of these fears. It's just a new level of that fear. So we're going to talk about the top 3 fears and how you can overcome those fears so you can start your business and grow your business. And make sure you like this video and hit the bell to be notified every time I go live. Every week there's a new training, and I'm live on Facebook and inside of my group and all of the things. So let's jump right in while people are hopping on. And when you come in, go ahead and let me know where you're at in your business. Are you just starting? Are you thinking about it? Or do you have your first client and you're trying to scale? Let me know where you're at in your business. So the number one fear that I think a lot of people struggle with, and I struggle with a lot in the beginning, and I struggled with this probably like 5 or 6 years. So at 18, I knew I wanted to start a business, but I just didn't know what I wanted to do. And so I struggled with a lot of the fear of failure. Like, okay, there's no way that I can actually start this business. And then it moved on to, there's no way that I can actually be consistent in my business. There's no way that I can actually make consistent money in my business and have this thing actually work out for me. And so I struggled with a lot of the fear of failure, and it made me not start at all. And so number one thing is you got to think about is you're already failing. Like if it's something that you really want to do and you don't start, it's kind of like you already failed in the beginning. So what will you lose if you actually go out there and start taking action in your business? So let me know if you struggle with the fear of failure. Go ahead and drop it down below. Put your hand up. Give me some likes, hearts, all of that. But number one is definitely the fear of failure. So what I do for fear of failure is kind of like ask for help. I'm super big on getting an accountability buddy, a coach, whoever you need, a mastermind. Surround yourself with like-minded people. Hey, is it Kenna? Is it Kenna? Tell me how to pronounce your name. Thought I missed it. Nope, you just in time. Let me know where you're at in your business. We're going to talk about the top 3 fears in business. Go ahead and make sure you like this video and hit the bell so you know every time that I'm notified. Every time I'm live, you'll get a notification. So number one, we're talking about the fear of failure. And so a lot of people fear of failure before they even get started, and this is what keeps them from starting. And so I thought to myself, it's like, okay, I'm not even trying, so I'm really already failed before I even go out there and even try. What happens if I actually blow this thing up? What happens if I actually even just make some part-time money on the side? What happens if I, like Cassie, you guys seen last week, is like, what happened if I actually have to come to the point where I have to make a decision, stay corporate or go full time with my business? And so instead of thinking about all of the negative things, like the worst things that can happen, I kind of switched my mind and said, what is the best things that could happen? You're right, Kina. All right. So, yeah, so I started switching that around. And so, I also started thinking about more so on growth and not, as big growth, like the big goal. I started thinking about little tasks that I were doing. So even now, it's some days that I just don't feel like doing anything. And so I just will handle one thing in my business. And so that I'm like, okay, I not one thing off, I'm one step closer to where I want to go. I didn't knock out 20 things or I didn't do 5 things, but at least I'm knocking out one thing at a time. Hey, Denzel. So just thinking about actually starting your business, a lot of people don't even start their business. So go ahead and knock that off and take that up as a success. And then also think about little things that you do, how that is influencing your growth and how that is helping you achieve whatever you want to achieve. So I think a lot of us think about only the big stuff. If we complete our whole entire website, if we get 1,000 members in our Facebook group, it's social media. And instead of looking at, okay, I've actually set up this Facebook group, I've actually set up my social media account, I've actually put together my welcome packet. Start looking at the small steps that's keeping momentum in your business. And so that's number 1 is definitely fear of failure. Get started. It's no way you can actually fail in your business unless you don't start or you give up. And so anything that you don't do right or it's like you were hoping for more, look at that as data and say, okay, how can I tweak this? How can I adjust this? How can I do more? How can I get better in this business? And then that's the only thing that we really do in business is we try shit and then we figure it out. We learn as we go. So that's number 1. Number 2 is definitely the fear of failure. I tell a lot of people if they're trying to grow a brand, a business, that you have to show up. And I am big on Facebook groups. So I am definitely showing up inside of my Facebook group and other people's Facebook group. And so a lot of people get scared, when I tell them that. And they're like, okay, I don't know what I'm talking about. What if somebody thinks I say something wrong? They think I'm stupid or I'm not an expert or something like that. So it's like all of this fear of judgment of others. And then number 1 is I had to look at myself. Okay, what am I judging about myself that I am portraying on someone else? And so I kind of like checked my negative thoughts and I started journaling, and anything that came up when I was like, okay, I need to show up, because if I don't show up on this online platform, it's no way that I'm able to have a successful business online. Like we have to get from behind our computer screens. And so I thought to myself, I'm like, what is coming up for me that I am scared to show up online? And so we are thinking about a lot of things that people will say, but we have no proof that they're actually even saying that. And so it's normally us saying all those things about ourselves. So journaling is definitely one thing that I suggest to anybody. If it's a coaching client, somebody's in my Facebook group, through email, I always say journal, because entrepreneurship is definitely lonely. And that goes back to surrounding yourself with like-minded people. And so definitely when it comes to judgment, it's like check your own thoughts. And then 2 is like, how do you know they are even saying that? What proof do you have? We don't have any proof. And so what if you are showing up and you're giving value and people are like, okay, she really knows what she's talking about. I really like her. I want to connect with her. And so think about, instead of thinking about the fears or what ifs, the negative, go ahead and change that mindset and think about the best that can happen. What's the best that can happen for you? And so, yeah, so watch your thoughts. Focus on exactly what you can control. You can't control anybody else's thoughts. You can only control your business, what you're putting out there. If you are confident in your skills and your talents and your the work that you're putting out there, then that's all that matters. So let me get these notifications out of the way. So number 1, we were talking about definitely the fear of failure. And so if you don't start and if you give up, that's the only 2 ways that you can actually fail in business. Anything else is just a learning experience. I always say anything that does not go right is just data for me to be able to tweak, adjust for the next thing. And 9 times out of 10, the second time, the third time, if you have that data, it's going to improve. And then number 2 is definitely the fear of judgment. We have to show up online, so putting ourselves out there is definitely scary. But the thing is, we don't have proof that anyone is even judging us in the beginning. And then also, what is that judgment doing? Is it helping you at all? Like, if you are fearing judgment and you're not putting yourself out there, that means you won't have a successful business online. And so, is that helping you reach your goals, or is that not helping you reach your goals? And so having that fear of judgment that 1, we don't even have proof of, and then 2, what is keeping us from having what we really want, what we desire, our end goal, is definitely something that you have to kind of think about and journal and say, is this fear of judgment actually benefit me, or is it keeping me back and keeping me comfortable? And so this kind of goes into a little bit of fear. Is like anytime we're doing something new, it's going to be uncomfortable. It's going to be scary. And so I say get comfortable with being uncomfortable. Like, it's going to be scary. It's a whole new journey. It's something new. And so just be comfortable with taking those risks, doing things that you really enjoy doing. And then number 3 is a huge one is not feeling good enough, not being confident in your services, your skills, and being confident that you're able to do this, not feeling like an expert. And so it all boils down to like imposter syndrome. We see other people who are have these bigger businesses than us, that has been doing it longer than us, that seems so skilled and it seems like an expert, that we start to belittle our actual skills and our talents. And so this is number one thing for me. If you feel like you're doing that, if you are making yourself smaller, you are like crossing out exactly all your talents, what you have been doing for 20, 30, 40 years, you need to unfollow anybody who's making you feel that way. Even if you are only following your family or friends, or taking them off too, or if you have a time where you're off of social media, unless it's putting out content and engaging with people who are engaging with that content, you have to get more so honed in onto your business and what you're doing that you can't see or hear anybody else. And so definitely start with just if you're not feeling confident in your skills, because that's the number one thing that will kind of help you get over imposter syndrome, is think about little small tasks that you can help somebody else with. I'm always saying it's like email management, social media management, anything online that you're already doing for yourself or in your business. Definitely start offering that to other people, because once you start doing that and you receive that positive feedback through emails, testimonials, messages, whatever your clients are telling you, you can use those and reread those when you are feeling like a fraud, not good enough. And so those are like a boost of confidence as far as I can actually do this. So number 1 is definitely unfollow anyone that makes you feel less than. Number 2 is start small. Start offering the small tasks or services that you can't offer in the spot that you're in right now. Number 3 is getting all of those testimonials in, the good feedback. Even if you have a business bestie that is pumping you up and saying, hey, you're doing this, create a little folder or a box with all of those notes that you can read, and when you're feeling like you're not an expert. And so definitely that's all I have about those top 3 tasks. But then the biggest fear that it all comes down to, as far as like actually starting your business, putting yourself out there and having success, is definitely not being concerned about what other people think about you. And so of course we all struggle with that in certain aspect, as long as it can be small or big. But once you're in this business, and I did this for like a year straight, I didn't focus on anybody else. I put my head down and I grinded out on my own business. And so that's what we kind of have to think about, is just putting out our best content. If it feels the best to you, then putting that out, being confident in that, and not really caring about what anybody else has to say about it. So yeah, those are my 3 fears and how to overcome those. Definitely fear of failure is just getting started. Anything that does not go right, uses it as data, tweak and adjust, and it will be better the next time. Number 2 is the fear of judgment, is pretty much stop the self-doubt, all of the negative thoughts that you have. Journal it out, get it all out of your head, and focus on you. And then also remember, you have no proof that anybody is even judging you. So it's all the negative stuff is just in your own mind. Number 3 is like the imposter syndrome, not feeling good enough, confident enough, not like an expert. And start small, start where you're at. And then using any testimonials, emails, feedback from coaches, business besties, reading that when you're feeling down or you're not an expert like other people are, and make sure you're unfollowing anybody that makes you feel that way. And then number 4, which is the bonus of all of it, is don't focus on other people. Put your head down, grind it out on your business, and stay focused on you. Anybody have any kind of comments, questions, let me know where you're at in your business. Make sure you like this video. And make sure you also hit the bell so you're notified anytime I go live. All right, Chrissy says, I feel like imposter syndrome pops up randomly. Even though you might know better, it can still show up. Yep. So even for me, a lot of people look at it's like she has a big Facebook group, quote unquote, and she has a good sized email following. She creates a lot of lives. She does a lot of interviews. And I still find myself like, oh, but I'm not good enough. Like, I'm not at that level. I still have a long way to go. And it's like you kind of have to just unfollow people. And also you have to just put your head down and just focus on you. There's always going to be somebody that's like better or at another level. But you have to focus on your progress and your growth. And I need an accountability partner. Yes, everybody needs accountability partner, coach, mastermind. I don't care what it is. You need somebody who's actually on the journey, actually in entrepreneurship to understand what you're going through so they can help you. Like, it's really good to bounce ideas off of, really good to pump you up when you're feeling down, really good to celebrate your wins with. You two need to link up too. You both need an accountability buddy. You two should link up, message each other. But yeah, make sure you find someone you can definitely talk to, if it's on a weekly basis or bi-weekly basis, someone you can, and then also what I really like about accountability buddy or coach or whoever you have is they keep you on track for growth. So I am less likely to not achieve my goals or my weekly tasks because I'm checking in with somebody else. And so I don't want to let that other person down, like more than I don't want to let myself down. I don't want to come back to the call and like, yep, I haven't did anything. And so it keeps you, striving for growth. Yep, you guys should definitely link up, message each other, and start having those calls. Yeah. Anybody else have any kind of questions? Comments? Yeah, so make sure you like the video and hit the bell. I will be live next week. These are weekly trainings that we have. If you have any kind of questions, leave them in the comments. If you're watching the replay, go ahead and type replay. And if you are during the replay, you have any kind of questions, go ahead and comment those, and I'll try to check back to this video and get back to you. Make sure you're in the Virtual Assistant Club Facebook group so you can get all the support, exclusive trainings. All the content is in there. So I love you guys. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you next week.